SVT, the main state media channel of Sweden, has created a new historical documentary where they retell the Swedish history from their perspective. And I'm going to review it. So what they're starting out with is to show like, yeah, there was an ice age and the ice started melting and whole Scandinavia was covered in ice, right? And while the ice was melting, more and more people were moving in. But what they're saying is that the first Swedish people weren't white. This is what the first Swedish person looked like, they said. And that's like, that's okay because the archaeologists, they have determined that like the first people that were moving into Europe were dark skinned, blue eyed or green eyed and stuff like this. But they can determine exactly how they look. Like it's not possible, right? But this is not like specifically Swedish history. This is generally just European history. You know what I mean? This is European history. Dark skinned people moved into Europe. But they kind of claim that history now. SVT, he kind of claims that now. So that means that all Swedish people are originally black. And that's like, okay, like, so what? Like, and the problem what I have with this is that you notice that you can't trust this historical documentary because through the documentary they show like weird history that they can't prove, like it's pseudo history. So example, here they show like how they were hunting, you know, but everybody knows like if you hunt on an open field, it's very hard to get close to your target, so you need to use something that has more distance. So how you would hunt is by using bows and arrows, because you can't throw, and those spears, if you look at those spears, what the fuck is that? That is a terrible spear. You could use that for like self-defense, but you can't throw that. You can't throw that spear. This is a throwing spear. You see how thin they are? The reason why they're so thin is because you should be able to throw them a long distance. I mean, that's not a good hunting spear, mate. Just looks so pseudoscience. And the thing is also like they don't know how they dressed. You know what I mean? They don't know. They don't know how they hunted. What kind of weapons? They have found flint. They found flint. That's it. But they don't know their weapons, how they carved wood, leather, how they dressed, how they made their hats. Like these are all innovations, you know, because these things don't survive through history. They rot away, man. This was 10,000 years ago. How the hell you gonna find something 10,000 years ago and know exactly everything about this motherfucker? It's like, it's not, no. This is pseudoscience. This guy is super interesting. He has been hired on SVT to do several documentaries, and he's politically engaged. So he is an archaeologist, but he's so pseudoscience, you know what I mean? And he passionately involved in politically driven documentaries on SVT. He was in another documentary which was a cover-up story on the Estonia incident, and we're gonna look at that documentary also. But remember this guy's face. He is politically driven and he's hired to be politically driven, and they're manipulating people's emotions. That's how they get them. The SVT is manipulating people's emotions. There is no logic in what they're believing. It's all emotional. And he's like explaining like how they're hunting, like how the hell does he know, man? Yeah, the prey ran away. Like all is just fake. Like those are the sounds they were making. Like this is pseudoscience. Like instead of like I would love if they focus more on like these are the findings. You know what I mean? This is what we found. That's it. You know, that will be a true documentary. Like you show the historical findings and then talk about that. So you talk about exactly what you found. You don't add things to it. They added a whole culture, a whole people, a whole way of talking, dressing, hunting. They added so much pseudo history into this shit that it's embarrassing. Like, you can see that they couldn't even find black people with those eye colors. Like, these are lenses they're wearing. You can see it on their eyes. Like, because when people wear lenses, like, their eyes look not normal, you know? They look unnatural, the eyes. Yeah, they hunted with spears. And then they show arrowheads. Why do you think they hunted with spears an animal that was in such a far distance and not with a bow and arrow? They didn't even explain that. They just keep on going with their fantasies. Like this is a historical archaeological documentary. If you want me to believe in what you're presenting, you need to show me what you found, why you claim these facts, and then you can make a little presentation like this. But you need to work with facts. You know what I mean? And they don't. They don't work with facts. This it's not interesting at all for them. Look, this is the funny part. They're showing now like how they communicated also. Like, this is how they communicated. Like, you don't know that. You can't know how they communicated. How the hell you know that? Oh, they were doing this and they were doing this and ooh la la, you know. And now he's talking about like, yeah, they were like storytellers and the best storyteller were the ones that were popular, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, this guy makes pure pseudoscience, man. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. He has a wild imagination, man. He has a wild imagination. As you can see, the first Swedish people, they black, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it kind of looks cool though. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna make like a cool movie, like it is a really like a cool, like, you know what I mean? Because like this reminds me of the you know National Geographic? You remember that photo? You remember that photo? How did they have blue eyes and why did they disappear though? Like I actually I don't know. I just looked around on the internet, man. Fuck do I know, man? Like, I'm just a normal human being, you know. I'm not some kind of a researcher or something like that. But what I understood is like, yeah, had people that had dark skin moving into Europe and northern parts of Sweden and Scandinavia, and they had light eyes, like blue eyes, green eyes, like this, but they can't determine exactly what skin color they had. They can't do that. They just know that it was darker skin color, which okay, like, that's normal because people came from warm countries into a new area, so you know what I mean. But they're just turning them into like completely black, you know, and that's pseudoscience, you know. I mean pseudo history, and that's okay. I mean, if you the thing is like people have allowed to believe whatever they want. I have no problem with people believing whatever they want, but that's the thing. It's just a belief. I want to work with facts, you know, because I actually want to learn things. I don't I don't orient myself. I don't orient. I don't focus on how I feel. That is something. If I don't feel good about something, then I need to mature to handle those feelings. Facts come before feelings. You know what I mean? So we need to figure out what the facts are, and this is how we learn about our past. But we can't just like manipulate ourselves into believing that, yeah, you know, Swedish people were black in originally. Like, then you need to decide like, what is Swedishness? Is Swedishness hunting moose with flint spears? Is that what makes you Swedish? Like, what makes you Swedish? Is it for me personally? For me personally, I feel like if you count from the Viking Viking Age. That is for me Swedish. Like whatever was before that, it was just a bunch of homeless people living on the savannah. You know what I mean? Like that's it, man. Like who the fuck are you? Like you don't have any written language. Maybe you do, but like where is it? You know what I mean? Where is it? There's nothing. You can't base it on nothing. Like for me, the Swedes are speaking Swedish, writing in Swedish, and being educated in a Swedish school. Like this is what Swedish people are. They didn't have schools or nothing. No written language, no schools, no nothing, man. They just hunted, they eat, they shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's say it like this. What are Americans from United States? What are Americans? If somebody would say Native Americans are true Americans. And it's like, I mean, no, I can't say that. Like, I can say that they're part of the American spirit, but to define America to just Native Americans, that's not America, right? That's not USA. USA is so much more. And a lot of it is from the modern history. Americans are what they are right now. You know what I mean? It's Coca-Cola, it's fast cars, it's MMA, you know, like I don't know what I'm talking about, really. This is I don't understand. So these people, these are the white people. They came from Finland and Russia, and they are white. You know what I mean? They're white. Wow. And now they're just showing that they're Middle Easterns. Like I thought we had a chance for some true history, but no, it's just they're Middle Easterns now. God damn it. They're collecting couscous and shit. I love couscous though. It's fucking delicious. God damn it, man. Swedish people are embarrassing. How I understood it is first came the African blue-eyed people, and after that the Middle Eastern people came from Russia and Finland. What? How the hell does Middle Eastern people come from Russia and Finland? It don't make no sense. I like this group. I mean, if I could joke a little bit, man. We have this is a Middle Eastern girl. She kind of cute though, you know, and a Jew. You know what I mean? Like, where he from, man? He's from Israel, and they're looking for some chicken. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that was a terrible. She can't use a bow. She didn't even pull it back that much. It just looks like she's not actually shooting a bow. This woman is like from a village with her family. They don't know how they lived really. Like, how do you know how they set up the campfire? Maybe you can find some pots, I guess. But this was 10,000 years ago. Like, you don't know how they build their houses. This is wood, man. It just rots away, you know? Especially in Sweden, like it's fucking moisty, you know what I mean? Like it's like moist everywhere, like it rots, man. It's humid. They don't focus so much on what they found actually in this documentary. It's very sad. Like it actually makes me very sad because I love history and I want to learn from history, but they don't give me nothing to actually learn from or like to build like to be confident in the facts they give me. I can't have confidence in it, and I don't want to be like, yeah, I learned that black people were hunting moose. Like people be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then they will ask me like, okay, so how do you know that? And I will go like, what do you mean? Are you racist? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so gay. You know what I mean? Like I can't talk like that. I'm a man. Like I need to be factual. I need to be factual. I can't be like, yeah, I believe whatever I believe in. Like I can't. I'm not a bitch. You know what I mean? Like it's a bone spear, and that's legit. Like they had bone spears. There's nothing weird about that. And they were looking like that actually. I don't know if they hunted like that though. That's you know. I've seen people that they stand in the water. Like a lot of the things that we know, like say Stone Age people, how they lived and all that, like tribal people that live close to nature. Because that's what they were. They were tribal people that lived close to nature. So a lot of the information we know on how they lived is based on tools we found, bones, because that's how we know location and who was there. And And then what we do is like we apply what we already know from tribal people that are living close to nature now and how they live. And then we use that as a reference to apply it to the people that lived 10,000 years ago or whatever, because it's more or less the same thing. That's all we know. We can't, but it's all like conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Like it's all theories because proof is proof. Fact is fact, but we don't have that. We can't prove it. We just have theories. That's what history is. It's just a bunch of theories. And unfortunately, this is like politically driven information. They can't be honest because they have an angle they want to sell you, and it's boring. It's boring that like everything nowadays needs to go through a political filter before it comes to us. It's not good. Like this is what Hitler was doing. Like when he was creating the idea of the Aryan race, the Aryan race is an innovation. It doesn't exist. It's a myth, but he wanted to create this myth. So the only way to create this myth is to use pseudo history. So he took things from history and twisted and filtered it through his political ideals, and then delivered it to people so that they would feel like, oh yeah, this Aryan history has always been there. It's just been suppressed, by the other power. Like, like it becomes like conspiratorial, right? And this is what they're doing right now. Like they're trying to change the myth of the Swedish people by filtering it through the ideology that they believe in, and then delivering this history to the people. Because if you can control people's history, then you can control people's future. You know what I mean? That's the magic power in controlling history. And the reason why they're showing Middle Eastern people and black people that they were first people in Sweden is to normalize immigration. And that's fine. Like you can normalize it if you want, but if we're going to be technical, real technical and factual, the immigrants that are coming in now are not the same people as the people that lived in Sweden during the Stone Age. Like, I'm sorry, but this is not the same people. They have different belief systems, they have different religions, they have different languages, different cultures. They even look differently. I've never seen a African blue-eyed person in Sweden. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you crazy? Like, it's silly. This is what these documentaries are. It's to control the history of Sweden so that it can control the future of Sweden. And so they normalize that immigration has always been. And in some facts, yes, like people have immigrated. It's normal, you know what I mean? But this type of immigration is not normal that they're doing in Europe. Like that is not normal immigration. You can't bomb people's countries, rob their resources, kill their families, then set them to run to Europe filled with rage, hate, anger, and pain. You hurt these people, You hurt these people. You're robbing them by sending Western military and destroying their way of living. They have nothing to live from over there. You robbed them, you killed them. And then they come in, and then we're gonna be like, yeah, we love these people. We love these people. And then we give them like plastic hugs. You know what I mean? Like this is plastic hugs. It's like if you really love them, stop sending people to kill them in their country. And then the nationalists here expect like them to like respect the country. Like how can you expect immigrants to respect your country when you don't even respect their country? Like it doesn't come together. Like, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? What did you expect from this? Like they're gonna come here and be like, oh yeah, I love these people. They were the same people that killed my people. You know what I mean? Like it's not okay. If you really want healthy immigration, then first of all, respect their country, stop robbing them, stop killing their families, stop assassinating their politicians and buying their politicians. When you have a certain way of treating them, then you have a ground to stand on your expectation of how they should treat you. You know what I mean? And it's all about respect and love. That's it. It's all about respect and love. But this is scary. This is scary. When I see these kind of documentaries on SVT, it's like it's very racist. It's very racist, and you can feel the Nazi socialist. You can feel that there's this essence of it. It's like it's very important with skin color. It's very important with genetic history. You know, it's like filtered into like, if you don't believe in this, you're the public enemy, you know. And it's not okay, man. It's really isn't. It's you and I can show you that later, because later they're gonna say like this. They're gonna say they're gonna have like the real uh Swedish people in general. They're mixed, you know. They kind of mixed. They have something that is the core genetics in Sweden, of course. There's something that sticks, you know what I mean? Every country has that. But the people they mixed with were people that were in the area. So it's like Eastern Europeans, Baltics, Germans, Danish, you know, like the countries around the area. That's actually what they mixed with. They didn't mix with African people and shit. And it's okay to mix with African people now. Like if you want to do that, it's no problem. I've seen those Swedish people that are half mixed, half African, half Swedish. They're fucking gorgeous, man. Hey, everything that mixes with Swedish people, it becomes like, it's some extra flavor. Swedish people look good, you know. Swedish people look good, but they're missing, you know, some flavor, you know, like this. But if you mix them up a bit, this part of the documentary, like it reveals their message. They show like a black woman like living, and they found her bones, you know. She was buried somewhere in Sweden. They found her. And later on, the TV presenter says like, it's interesting like how my ancestors, like he claims it, you know what I mean? Like he claims like he comes from these people, like he black, you know what I'm saying? Like he black. But the thing is like, Swedish people can't dance, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if I'm gonna be a little bit like, you know, like, I hang around like around black people, okay? They can dance, man. I am terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't dare to dance around black people. I would look like fucking ridiculous. But but black people know how to dance. Club culture, music culture. That's black music, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot of black influence. They give a lot of flavor to music, dancing, and I mean, a lot of pop music actually. There is a Swedish guy that writes them. So I can't say that they don't have music flavor. Like I can't say that. You know, maybe that's the black thing about them. Maybe, who the fuck knows? Here he's like, this is where they found her. And the way he speaks is like, it creeps me out, because he's like hypnotically make you fall asleep into his history, you know. What she died from, we don't know. But but it gives us a puzzle piece of who we once were. But I don't even think you were that. Like, I really don't. I'm sorry. I've been at Swedish parties. They suck. If you want to go to a Swedish party, you need to come 2 hours late, because then people are really drunk, and then it starts becoming fun. You know. Then they turn into Vikings. You know what I mean? Like they just like, you know what I mean? And they be dancing like Vikings also, which means like funny way. If you go to a Swedish pub, come 2 hours late. I'm telling you, man, just to be sure. You don't want to sit there. It's all dry and boring, and they're all working up, man. You're like, no, no, come 2 hours. That's the best. And then you leave like before everybody start like fighting and puking and fucking around and being embarrassed. You know, yeah, I'm a great guy. Bro, you're not African, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, yeah, I mean, technically, if we really gonna go to the roots, all humans come from Africa. You know what I mean? And then evolution happened, and we became different looks, paler, blue-eyed, afros. You know, whatever, man. Asians, like, you know, everybody came from Africa. But am I gonna now think that I'm black? I mean, I'm a little bit black though, but you know what I'm saying. But But just because you listen to hip hop doesn't mean you turn black, you know. You need to smoke more weed for that shit. I may not be genetically black, but my soul can be black, you know what I mean? A little bit. The spirit of blackness, you know. I don't know what to say about this guy. He so wants to be black. This part of the documentary is so fucking crazy. They literally showed that they found like skulls. They were on sticks. I mean, they do admit that they don't know nothing about it. They don't know nothing about these people. Like skulls on sticks in a swamp. You don't know what the fuck was going on there, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know if it was a ritual or it was like they killed their enemies and just put them like that to like scare them off. Like, you don't know why these skulls are on a stick in a river or a swamp or a pond or whatever the fuck it was. But they create all this pseudo history from that, like how they dressed, how they lived, the rituals. Like they're just creating it, but they admit from the beginning they don't know what this was for. They just found these bones, and then they start creating. Look at this. Yeah, it was like this. Like, but you just admitted you don't know. Like, why are you showing this? If they present that it is like, yeah, we found these skulls in the lake or the swamp or the river or whatever it was, and we don't know what it is, and what then that's it. Like, that's what they should say, and that could be interesting. Like, I'm not saying that that's not interesting. It's fascinating, but they don't know this. They're like, yeah, we don't know what it's all about, but we're gonna show you this ritual and how they were dressed. And I think like they created this documentary to target children, you know, because children don't have like, they can't criticize this, so they just like they just watch it and think that that's true history, and it's not. And I think it's also to like maybe make immigrant children feel more welcomed in Sweden or something like that. I'm not sure, but I guess this doesn't make them feel that welcome. Showing fucking skulls and shit. I don't know what's going on here, honestly. Like, I don't know the mindset behind this. That's cool though. I can say that. That's a cool picture. But this is funny. They're now showing like how the tribes met and how they dance. You think these are all black people? Look how they dancing. Black people don't dance like that. Like, I'm sorry. I know you want to be black, but you need to work on your dance moves a little bit more, bro. Like, you know, man. Look how they're dancing, man. Like, you black, dude. If Michael Jackson was there, I would know who was black. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson looks like he's white, but he black. You know, he moves like a black man when that music kicks in. God damn it. This is not black people, man. These are Swedes, man. This is a Swedish party. They get drunk and start fucking each other, man. Like, what are you talking about, man? This is a Swedish party, man. Like, this is midsummer. This shit is midsummer, bro. Look at this shit. That's midsummer, man. They light the fire, they start fucking in the forest. They're all drunk. Look at them. They don't give a fuck how they look. Even if they're smelling disgusting, they don't give a fuck. They just fucking, man. Like true Vikings, bro. God damn it. They're Vikings, man. This is fucking. These are the Swedes, man. Check these motherfuckers out. I don't see no African person here, bro. You go to the club with those dance moves, man. That's how white people dance, you know, when they look at it. So this shit. So there's all this shit. This is how white people dance, man. This is how they catch the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they all got pregnant after this shit. They're showing like the carvings they found on the rocks and stuff, which is cool. The color didn't survive though. They added that in. But the carvings are there though. I love this stuff. It looks like gingerbread mousses or something. It's gingerbread. It was celebrating Christmas. Can't you see that shit? These are ancient Christmas Santa Claus. This guy, I can't. Do you see his eyes? Like, he's so innocent and so stupid at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't want to break. I don't want to put him down. I don't want to put him down, like, but do you see that in his eyes? Do you see this guy's eyes? Like, he has this, like, naive, innocent, like, he believes that he's a good person, but he's been, like, tricked into doing something bad, like, really bad. And I meet a lot of Swedish people like this. A lot of Swedish people in many different institutions that are controlled politically. And they believe in, like, we believe in the democracy and our freedom of speech and shit. But, like, they don't have that. Like, they don't have a clean democracy or a freedom of speech in Sweden. If you say something that's incorrect, they demonize you and destroy you and lie about you. And they think that they're doing that because for the good, you know. But they're lying, you know what I mean? If you don't have freedom of speech and support facts and not like fiction and lies, you can't really have a democracy, because you need to base it on facts, you know. If I'm going to take a conscious decision of who, like, what direction a country should go. If I'm taking political decisions based on lies, I can't. We don't have democracy. We just have a manipulated democracy, and it's being manipulated of higher powers. And he doesn't know that. He's a moron. He's a moron. He's brainwashed, like, you know. And this guy, as I said, like, he's in another documentary about, like, the cover-up of Estonia. I will get into that documentary later, like, I don't know when, but I will get into that and I will show you what's going on there. But he's obviously like a useful fool, you know. SVT is a cult because they have certain things they believe in, and those values are false. They're not consistent with their values. Like, example, they should believe that they're neutral. They're not neutral. They really stick to an ideology, and that ideology is like wokeness. They discriminate people, and they lie about people, and they manipulate people, and they're scumbags. They're really, SVT is a real scumbag channel. I feel sad for Swedish people like this because they are being used and they don't know it. You know, and I'm hoping that I can, like, reveal it on this channel by going through, like, different media and how they're used. I can see that, like, it's sad. Swedish people can be very naive and very nice people, but a little bit stupid. And when I say stupid, I mean like a child. The state, like the elites in Sweden, they use these people. If you're like a stupid, naive Swede, the state and the elites are gonna take you into their system because they can easily manipulate you and trick you. What they also do is, like, they use materialism to enforce that you're right. If you grew up in Sweden, they break your confidence through the system, through school, because they deny who you are as an individual, and they try to push their ideology on you through the school system. And then when you grow up and go out of the school system, they do that through work. When you grow up and you work at a company, they will continue pushing their ideology on you. And if you don't fit, you will feel it. And then you will feel like you're defect. You know what I mean? That's what they do with humans here in Sweden. They make people that don't fit into the socialist norms feel like they're defects. And they get pushed out of society and they starve them out. That's what they do in Sweden. They're absolutely gross. And they do it softly, you know. They do it softly so that you won't even notice it. You will just feel like there's something wrong. Like, you'll be like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be mean to him, you know what I mean? I don't want to be mean to him, but I need to state the facts. He's stupid, you know? He's stupid. And he's being used, and he doesn't know it, and he thinks that he's standing up for democracy and freedom. And this is the same mentality they have in the military in Sweden. In the military, they just believe in American propaganda freedom and democracy and all that nonsense, you know. But wait a minute, didn't NATO and America like kill a lot of children and destroy their lands and assassinate their leaders and rob their resources? Like, then they just say, no, that's not true, you know? Like, it's that crazy that they say that that's not true. Then it becomes a cult. Because a cult is where you need to isolate yourself from the reality and society in general and live in a bubble where you project a false reality. That's what a cult is. And if somebody from the outside comes in and said, but wait a minute, that what you believe in is not true. I have facts, and you can prove those facts, and it's all intellectual and grounded. They see you as the enemy. They start seeing you as the enemy because you screw up their belief system. And this is how like the different institutions in Sweden work. SVT is a cult. It's a cult. The Swedish military is a cult, and they don't want to be grounded in facts and reality. They just want to believe in what they believe in because they gain power from that. They gain power from that, and they can do unmoral things also to push their ideals. These are Middle Easters or something. I don't know what this is. That's what they say. They say these people came from the Middle East. They look Swedish, like 100% Swedish, these people, man. But they said they come from the Middle East to new lands and they brought grain. And this is how things went down. This reminds me of like when the Europeans colonized America, kind of like that's the scene there. Like they came with boats, you know? They came with boats and they come to the new lands. Like they just came today, you know? But that's not how things were. Like that's not how things evolved. It evolved through trading, through marriage, through tribal, like mixing tribes and families, and you know what I mean. Learning something here, then bringing it back. Like that's how things moved. It wasn't like, yeah, there was a family with boats, and then they met the people that lived there and they gave them the grain. Like these are not like the Quakers. And sorry, I mean it's pseudo history bullshit. It's embarrassing. It really is. Like okay, I don't know what to say anymore. Like it's all Native American. Like this is American story that they're retelling. You know, in like Scandinavia. So like they came there. The colonizers came there with grain, and they were creating farms and stuff like this, like the Quakers. You know what I mean? Like the Christian Quakers. And the people that were hunter-gatherers, which are the Native Americans, they were hunting and coming there to trade and la la la, and they were intermingling. Like, but that's not how things went down. That's not how it went down because there was no colonial powers back in those days. It was just families and tribes and shit. Like you can't apply that history to a colonial history. Like you can't melt that together. It's two different things. The fact is, they were planting and hunting because during winter you can't plant food, right? So what do? You go out hunting and fishing. How are you gonna plant food? What are you? I'm gonna just wait? Like yeah, I'm gonna wait here. I'm not gonna do nothing during winter. I'm gonna just eat my grains and not do nothing else. Like, it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. Of course, they went out hunting and fishing and tried to get meat instead because that's what was available. And of course, they went out and picked berries, for God's sakes. Why wouldn't you go out and pick berries? If you're a farmer, you have your farm, you work your field, you're done there. Let's go out and pick some berries. Like, why not? Why not? And then on top of that is like, why do you think hunter-gatherers didn't have farms? Like, I mean, they didn't have farms in a classic way, but the forest was their farm. You know what I mean? They weren't controlling the land in that way, but they knew that over there, those things grow. Over there, those things grow. that was their farm. You know what I mean? They were not just traveling. Hunter gatherers were in an area. They held themselves in an area. It's like let's say a bear or a wolf or something like. It's their hunting ground. That's where they live. That's how hunter gatherers live. They weren't just traveling, like just hunter gatherers weren't constantly on a hike. You know what I mean? Like that's pseudo history. They were hanging around in an area, picking berries, hunting, fishing, maybe planting something. And why? And these people, they show like, oh, they didn't know what farming was. And like, how are you kidding with me, man? You telling me that no hunter gatherer ate some berries, poop that shit out or spit it out in the ground, and then more plants start growing it? They couldn't figure that shit out. Like, it's that's not reasonable. Of course they were planting. If you wanted a bush, you just throw some seeds there, hope that a tree will grow up. Whoa, nice! There's a tree there. I can eat from it. Like, come on, man. You think hunter gatherers didn't have houses or tents or some shit? They already showed that they had camps, right? So they lived there. What the hell, man? It's, I don't know. Like, if you have a camp, then you make it comfortable around. Like, you don't want to plant something around your camp. Like, nothing, absolutely nothing. You eat an apple, you don't want to put the seeds in the ground and just hope that apple tree will grow. It's unreasonable. These things. It's unreasonable. They literally took the colonial history of America and applied it to Scandinavian history, which is absolutely false. You know what I mean? It's absolutely false. That's not how things went down, bro. Yeah, here he comes. He's gonna trade some bird, some duck. You know, poor duck, man. Maybe it's a rubber duck. Who the fuck knows? And then he's gonna like give him some grain, you know. And these are like idiots, you know. But the funny part, he don't look Middle Eastern or African. He comes there like, what is this? Is it grain? Like, he can't count. Like, he can't put it together in his head. Like, what do I do with that? And this is like some grave that like rich people had, like some wealthy person, something that is more impressive than the regular person that probably just got buried in the ground with some rock or some shit like this. They add more pseudo history to it because he says this archaeologist that I said was brainwashed. This guy, he says like, yeah, he talks about their gods, you know, what kind of gods they have, but they don't know nothing about their gods because they didn't write that stuff down. You know, they don't have books. They don't have books. They don't have a proper writing language. Like, when he speaks, he's all like freestyling. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, coming up with ideas, but then he comes up with ideas and then he believes in those ideas. So it's like he's just freestyling. You know what I mean? And then he talks about their gods. He came up with the concept of Mother Earth. But that's his concept. Like, you don't know how they related to that god. He has a certain relationship to the god Mother Earth, but he doesn't know what kind of relationship they had. The devil is in the detail when it comes to religions and gods. You can't just say, oh, all religions are the same. Like that is embarrassing. Anybody that says all religions are the same or all religions are equal or some bullshit, something that is similar to that, you're uneducated. That is false facts. Like, he's inventing history. He's not an historian, but he's a fool that can be used for political gain. That's a cool grade. So now they're showing like this part of history which they don't focus on at all, which are the Eastern Europeans, like the people from the plains that were riding horses were coming into Europe. So these are the white people, you know what I'm saying? And that is actually like a lot of, like if you look at like in Sweden, there's a lot of blonde people, right? Blonde, blue-eyed people. They are actually from the Eastern Europe. Like those, that genetic, I mean, that's at least what they're saying. They come from Eastern Europe, like Northeast Europe. You know what I mean? So these people, the blonde, blue-eyed, green-eyed, the light people, they come from very, very north parts of the globe. And technically they are the ancestors of the Swedes, but they don't highlight these people at all. Like they just like skip over the, like the most important part was the African people with blue eyes and the Middle Eastern people that came with grain, kind of, and that's it. That's it. They skipped over that history. They like, no, we're not related to those people. We just look like them, but we're not related to them. I mean, I wouldn't say Swedish people look like Eastern Europeans, but they look more like Eastern Europeans than African people. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You can't see a difference between a Middle Eastern and a Swedish person? Man, then you stop smoking weed. If race isn't important, then you don't even talk about it. Like you don't even highlight that thing. I just think this is racist, you know. Aesthetics supports identity politics, and identity politics is racism, and it's sexism, racism. What it does, it separates people into different groups. Culturally, it gives them like a value in society, and so it becomes like a hierarchy depending on what identity you withhold. And you can't run away from your identity either. Like you can't go beyond your identity. Instead, you're trapped in your identity. So it's not. So you're always, if you are your skin color, you're always going to be that skin color, and you can't run away from it. You know what I mean? And right now it's like white males are at the bottom of the food chain within that ideology, and it's super racist. It's super racist, and this is what SVT is supporting. They support serious racism. You know, they support serious racism, and they don't. And the funny part with SVT is like they support. They say like, yeah, you know, Middle Eastern and African people, they're equal to us, you know. So they support this, like, yeah, you know, like we should all be equal and respect each other and love each other. Like they talk like that, but then in practice they talk like, yeah, and white people are terrible, and Swedish people are super racist, but the other people are not racist. You know, like there is no equality when we're actually talking about the groups and identities. And then on top of that, they support NATO. So they literally support the bombing and the murder and the destruction of these people that they say they protect. And they support also, and they don't say nothing about America and what they're doing around the world. Because if you believe in something, you need to be consistent all the way in all your actions. Actions speak louder than words. That's what they say, and you can see SVT's actions. They support an imperialistic system that colonizes other nations. They project a lie that no, we're trying to free you, but actually they're trying to rob you. You know what I mean? Like the SVT is part of that system. It's part of that machine. And the Swedish people, the Swedish society, everybody that lives in Sweden, that works in Sweden, that pays the tax in Sweden, they support that system. And they have no way of unsubscribing from that system. You know what I mean? Like your tax money will automatically go to them, and they will use that to hypnotize. Like the only way to like rebel against SVT is to stop watching it. But they're sexist, they're racist, they're imperialistic, they're liars. They believe in fantasies and not. They don't base nothing on facts. I was actually looking forward to this documentary. I was thinking like, because I love history. You know, I've heard it on TV. Like, yeah, they're gonna make a documentary about like Sweden's history. You know, from the Stone Age, and you know, and I was excited. I was like, that's cool. Like, I love that. You know, but when I start watching it, I'm like, oh, okay, it went through the political filter. And that's, I mean, what am I gonna do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like what the Nazis did. They're twisting history to make it fit them. It's like a cult, you know. Like you don't believe in facts. You just believe in whatever you want to believe in. Like you think that reality comes from your own ego, you know. Like there is nothing to synchronize. Like you're God, you know what I mean? Like you're God of this reality, and if I don't believe in your heaven, then I'm the enemy and needs to be kicked out of your heaven. You know what I mean? It's fascism. That's what it is. It's fascism, and SVT is part of that system. SVT are fascists. That's what they are. They're straight up fascists. But they like to point at other people and say, "No, you're fascist. You're racist. You're homophobic. You're sexist." You're like that's what they do because they believe in identity politics, and they use identity politics to put people in categories and turns people that listen to them, people that are brainwashed by their propaganda, to attack those people that don't agree with what they believe in. So fuck SVT.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more and drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think.